Hey everyone, welcome back to Kharak 9, and welcome to the finals of the upper bracket. This is for all the... It's not really for anything. But anyhow, gonna be between Descara and myself. And, the longer we have this tournament, these tournaments going on, the more I'm starting to realize Descara is really in an area of dominance right now. Kharak Cup 8, he literally went undefeated, not even a single map, and he's almost done the same here. The only one he lost was to me, but that was kind of like... That was an insane lag fest. I don't know if that really counts. He's got a mind for the game. He's got really good micro. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that from what we've seen, he's the best player in the game at the moment. So that's who I'm up against here. I thought to myself, well, there's a couple things I can try to do, a couple of strategies I can try to pull to sort of throw him off. But I do some very kind of unorthodox things in this tournament, and I guess, or in this this series right here, very kind of like builds that I've never tested before, so I guess we'll get to see if they work or not, yeah? RIP though, not even got the resources to pop open this wreck, right? It's gonna be a sand skimmer rush for me now. I don't do a base swimmer retirement to get this out, and I make 2 salvagers first. And this is a little bit odd. I don't think I would have done this again, but he's gonna go straight into AAV fabrications. This is gonna be really tough for me. And maybe he's thinking of the last time he played against me as Conef, which was in Kharak Cup number 6, and this is exactly what I did. Or actually, maybe I was Gaussian then? I can't totally remember. But it worked for me pretty well then. The thing is, this time I'm also planning on throwing in some blast drones, see if I can bomb out the eco here. So, that's the idea for now. That second production cruiser is going to be coming out really soon. And then we will see what I can do with it. Descara, man, he's scary, you know? I'm never particularly confident going up against him, because I know how good he is. AVs are already coming out onto the field before my second production cruiser pops, so I mean, if I knew they were out there, I would switch into eco right now, and this is not going to go well, but I don't know that, obviously. I'm taking a bit of a risk here, and it was a calculated risk. I know that if he counter-strats it, I'm just going to die, but I figured I would go for it anyway. I'm fleet cap too, that's quite good. And he's gonna scout this with an LAV as well, but he only sees one of those production cruisers, so he doesn't totally know just yet what's happening. Could be anything still at this point. Is that a destroyer? No, it's But that AAV coming out directly to meet me, which is exactly what you're gonna want to do in this type of scenario. 2 blast drones are out, but they're gonna get caught by this probe here. He's gonna know that they're there. I think he would have seen the red blip, actually, so maybe not. Yeah, he's definitely going to see it now. He knows that they're there. And sand skimmers can't obviously fight this AAV right here. Neither can anything that I've got right now, actually, so I'm just going to have to back away. What I think I'm going to do then in this case is go and just kill that AAV, but I think, well, maybe if there's... Well, excuse me, if there's a path to the eco, I should go for that instead. But there's an AAV here as well. So I don't think there's really anything for it. I just have to detonate on that one. Very ineffective hit right there. I'll see if I can come and capitalize with these sand skimmers, but actually there's another AAV here too, so... It looks as though, at least for the opener, I've been thoroughly smashed. Really nothing gone my way so far, so I'm not feeling particularly good about this game at this point already. So I'll switch into railgun fabrication, that's what you would do. But I felt very distinctly that I was behind here. I needed to make something happen, and I didn't quite know what that was going to be. I do have an artifact, that's good. Gonna be difficult to extract this one, but I may be able to. Base runner kind of gonna get caught out here. Probably gotta use that smoke ability just right now. There's an attempt at the cruise missiles. So I'm just going to go straight into refinery mode and then try to make some rails to deal with this. That seemed to me to be like the only thing to do here, really. It's going to be difficult to get an economy up and running without taking some losses with these AAVs already up in my face, but miraculously I've kind of gotten them to retreat here. And so if refinery mode can finish, I'll still have a fighting chance here. He's definitely on a base before I am, and you can see him getting missile battery fabrication too. He probably was expecting that there's going to be some kind of an air transition. That's what kind of players tend to do. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me to say the least. I want to stop that extraction, but there are AAVs in the area. I don't really want to get killed by them. And they also have that smoke ability. It would be difficult, but yeah, that's just how it is. I'm going to see if I can extract myself. I have assault railguns out here. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised Descara doesn't cancel this when he sees that, but he does go ahead and finish it. So those resources are sunk. If I were him, yeah, when I saw the railguns there, I probably would have canceled that. I'm going to go for missile ship fabrication, just try to go missile ship rails just like I typically do. It's a build I'm very comfortable with, but I'm going to be starting from behind here, and I'm quite aware of that. It'll make things difficult. This base right here is going to get caught out a bit. And suppression really reduces carrying me up by half. Oh, man. I didn't realize exactly how much it did, actually. But I just had clicked on that blast drone and saw like what its speed was. So railgun armor coming out for me, that's definitely what you want when you're fighting AAVs here. And I do have quite a bit of field control. Refiner mode is finished, I'll be on 3 bases before too long. So things are not over for me, but they definitely don't look particularly good. I feel Descara has got quite an advantage. He's going to be getting onto 3rd base pretty soon too. He does have an artifact extracted, and he still is sort of, I think, in charge of this game. I can't push out with this force, it's too small still. He's going to get railgun fabrication, that's the nice counter unit to this. I'm getting anti-air already, which does seem a little bit preemptive. Even to me. And I think Descara is in a good position here. And there are missile batteries out here. This could actually be a little nasty if you manage to get a hit. But I do see railguns firing at me. I know that they exist now, so I'm certainly not unaware to that. I really just want to get this artifact out, and then I'm going to fall this force back. And it is a bit passive for me. I think it has to be. I think my opponent has got the right counter units on the field to me. I can't take field control necessarily with what I've got right here. This is actually pretty suboptimal too. I've somehow let this AAV get through. Can I cruise missile him right here? Yeah, maybe if I was a bit more on top of it. Oh, that was a good shot. Yeah, well, these assault railguns are in position. They'll take him out. Power Reserve 1 finished now for me. And I'm making my last production cruiser so I can free up this carrier too. Railgun Armor 2 on the way also. But yeah, I think the idea of this build is just, it takes way too many CUs, and it's also very counterable if your opponent goes for an AAV rush. So I think it was worth a try, but now I know I'm probably not going to go for it again. But I still have the task of winning this game on my hands. I don't want to just give up, so it'll be difficult. Assault ship fabrication coming out for me now. Don't really want assault ships. So he's got LAVs, a couple of them. I hadn't seen them at all yet, and I do have assault railguns still. So I don't really need coverage from strike craft. Really, what I want is the siege cruiser here. Seems like Descara wants the same thing. You can see him going now for assault cruiser fabrication. The typical thing to do here would be to go for power reserves, but Descara likes to go for assault cruiser fab instead. And you can see he senses a railgun war coming up, so he's getting that mag accelerator upgrade. That's definitely the right thing to do here. LAV is definitely in a good position there, so I'm going to have to fall back all the assault railguns. Also the missile ship going to come in, see if he can support. And, yes. But I know I need heavy rails because he's got quite a few railguns of his own. Gonna want to take a fight with them at some point, so I need to be ready to take that. Is armor 3 done for both? It's done for him, not for me. Turret gets set up here too, which is quite nasty. I'm gonna have to fall back these guys, and that artifact will extract, puts him at 2-1. I've got quite a number of railguns here though, and I'll be able to just siege down this turret. As Con F do, you know. Looks like I sort of misjudged where it was though. LEVs come streaming in here, but with no upgrades against assault railguns, they won't do particularly well. Yeah, I really missed that turret. I thought I had killed it already. Wow, that does a lot more damage to turrets than I thought it would. Looks like this artifact here is going to be denied by these AAVs, and I keep pushing that guy out there without any support. I should really just wisen up to the fact that Descara has indeed got someone there. Armor 3 is finished on those railguns, and there's no upgrades on these sandskimmers here. So that's not going to go too well for me if I take that fight. I'm going to try to move my railguns up here, though, because I'm quite aware that I've got a superior number to him right now. Looking at this again, maybe I ought to move out in this direction and take this high ground position here. It's kind of hard to say, but I know I've got the majority at the moment, so I want to capitalize on that as fast as I can. This is going to be a little tricky here. This tiny little backstab has got 3 railguns involved in it, which makes things really effective. They're going to do well against these assault rails. But I do get up onto this position right here. And see, this is a fight I would have thought I could take, yeah? This looks pretty good for me. Perhaps there's a turret getting set down here on the base runner. I don't know. So where do I go wrong here? Because I know that, yeah, it looks like it's because I'm targeting AAVs. Turret gets set up, but it just gets instantly smacked down, which is good for me. And the carrier also just a little bit awkward here. It keeps kind of blocking my own units. I am going to shut down that base runner, which is nice. This attack here, though, is being rather effective. Although, never mind. He's going to move over the dune with those rails, and actually things look okay for me. But yeah, I think I actually ought to... I can't really. There's more railguns coming out. Otherwise, I would say I should press my advantage right here. So, 1 Salvager went down. That's not a big loss. Just a Strafniki. No big loss. And I'm going to start going for power reserves right here. If you can get power 5 on that Conf carrier, it's pretty nasty with those cruise missiles, but that is some ways away. I am also going to get siege cruisers, though, and that's going to be that's going to be pretty effective, I think. You can see I've got tons of CUs here, so more sandskimmers would be good, but I'd need to invest in the upgrades for them. That's going to take a long time and a lot of money, so... Yep, siege cruiser on the way now. And here I see, okay, he's got siege, but perhaps I can go ahead and kill this with these sandskimmers. No, did I back away from this? Oh. Well, okay, there actually was another AAV. I suppose that's not a bad move. If I had seen that there was only one artillery only one AAV holding this, I would definitely have to push in there, but it looks like there were actually a couple. As well as a missile battery. So yeah, that could have gone bad, but that definitely represented perhaps an opportunity to do some serious damage. One thing I can know is that if he's making artillery, he's not making railguns. At least not as many. And so I can hopefully out-macro him in that regard if I can find a counter to the artillery. But I know it's out now. I learned that very early, which is good for me. And then Railgun Armor 3 finally going to come out for me here. And that artillery is still miles away. It's not going to be able to push in, but I think actually keeping my carrier up here perhaps would have been better. There's always a risk that my opponent can kind of push in on the other side, and it looks like he's going to here with this assault cruiser. But yeah, this could be difficult for me, to say the least. Now this missile battery here, or missile ship here, is taking out probes, which is quite nice for me. That's something that's really important when you're in these artillery fights, is to clear out their probes. So you need some kind of anti-air usually for this, and I've got it. Descara getting his power reserves up though, and he has artillery, and that can be pretty deadly. I think A-Game in reviewing this game said it probably would have just been better for Descara if he had gone for power reserves. The artillery is kind of a bit of a funky choice, but But if it works for him, it works, so. This is gonna hurt, though. There's a little backstab of railguns here, but it's supported by an assault cruiser, and the only thing I've really got in this area to respond to are all these sand skimmers here, and that's not gonna go well. I don't know if you know anything about sand skimmers versus assault cruisers, but I do have a pretty nice split here, so I'm not gonna get hit too hard by artillery if he fires at me. But the railgun count for Descara also is looking pretty good here. So sand skimmers here are going to be able to take out these railguns, but then they're just going to have to leave off in this direction. Actually, though, looking at this, it's very exposed here. I hope I don't just stay... Oh, no, I'm going to back away. See, if I ran up there, I think maybe there's something I could do. Going to be forced off this location here, though, because I'm not going to win the railgun fight, even with that high ground. Missile ship is going to get taken out. There's another siege cruiser on the way, though, and siege cruisers do have a bit of anti-air. This barrage here is pretty good, and the cruise missiles might be landing too. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. But there's artillery in the area, and if I show off my siege cruisers a little too much, he'll be able to artillery them down. And AAVs looks like gonna get here mostly in time. Look how bunched up those rails were. If I had a barrage ready at that point. Ooh. There's stuff going on here, but the real fight seems to be on the other side. Actually, artillery going to get taken out here by the sand skimmers, though. It seems like I found a pretty good angle for them. Barrage right here with the siege cruiser would be huge. Yeah, it comes out, but it's a little late, isn't it? Oh, and there's an assault cruiser here to take out the sand skimmers. So they actually all go down. They don't actually manage to kill the enemy. And my opponent's artillery seems to be doing a very good job of taking out my sand skimmers here, too. Or my railguns, it is. I get my opponent's carrier down to pretty low health, though. But, yeah, you can see just all those railguns getting killed now. And that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. Suddenly it's really just these siege cruisers that I've got between me and the enemy, and I think pushing through that choke point, that was just a big mistake. Oh, but this is good. If I can get up here, obviously these guys don't have any indirect fire at all, and I'm much faster than them, aren't I? There's some promise there, I suppose. Okay, so there goes one of the artillery cruisers of my opponent. Those things are expensive, make no mistake. I use a barrage and then instantly cancel it by moving, so that's a little silly. Yeah, these two guys on low health here, and they can obviously re-heal, but it's it takes some time. Some cruiser just got killed there. I didn't actually see what it was. But you can see all three of the siege cruisers have very low health here. The assault cruiser came in and managed to do some really nasty damage there, but I get it down to 72 health. It shouldn't be too hard to deal with now. In fact, can this heavy railgun just kill him? No! Oh wait, no. Yeah, I got him. Look at that. Yeah, siege cruisers all at quite low health here. And I can't stop and stand still to fire barrages because then he's just going to hit me with his artillery. It's an interesting fight that we're taking here, but he seems to be coming out on top pretty well. Also, I've noticed that he's extracting a fourth artifact right here. That could be a big deal. I get another extraction myself, but I'm going to have some difficulty here, to say the least. Now, if I could get barrages set up over there... Yeah, I'm not going to, which is a big problem. Looks like this siege cruiser here also going to get killed by rails now. So I'll live here, but I'm going to have to get forced off now of my my second base, which is not good. Or my first base, that is. Actually, this production cruiser just kind of sitting here, so it's a little silly. Oh, look at the friendly fire. Ooh. Ooh. But yeah, as you can see, production cruiser goes down right there. Another siege cruiser gets taken out, and suddenly my army just really not looking present at all. There's 4 artillery cruisers right here, and they're all damaged, but that doesn't really do me much unless I can actually kill them. That's a big deal there. I think that's really what is getting Descara this win here, is that I'm not able to just get the kill on those units. Another siege cruiser goes down right there. It's pretty sad. And he's at 4 artifacts, so I definitely need to stop his base burners here now. So I'm going to try and just kind of barrage that thing down with my carrier and with those cruise missiles. But I think it should be pretty obvious at this point that if I'm having to evacuate all my bases, probably the game is up. I can come over here and maybe be annoying, but this kind of carrier also is very slow, and so it's questionable what I'm really going to be able to do here, right? But yeah, I desperately want to kill off this this base burner here. You can see me trying to dodge artillery with varying results. The turret comes up though and it kills off the assault railgun. I just thought this was so funny though. Look, I'm gonna use smoke on the base runner to come up close, and then use a blast turn to pop off the base runner. I know there's other stuff going on, but like this is what's really important right here. As well, artillery actually kills off the turret there. It's pretty funny. There's always a way to get the base runner. There's always a way to get the base runner. There's of course an artifact just sitting here though, ready to be collected, so that's always a problem for me. Descara now powers are 4. He's got full power in that healing, and he's managed to heal up those artillery cruisers real quickly. I would now put it in like full on armor probably, and get your carrier healed up, right? But once he catches me, which he will eventually, I mean his carrier is just faster than mine, it's not going to go well for me. It won't take long. He's getting vision now also from those logistics modules and from this base runner that's over here. So his artillery is going to be able to start firing at me pretty soon, and that's going to be a big issue as well. Siege cruiser just goes down instantly there. I think it's just a production cruiser left here now. I'm trying to clear out all these logistics modules. I need to get rid of that vision that my opponent has got, but the damage has already been done. I mean, the one siege cruiser went down. I mean, really, he's got 4 artillery cruisers. Like, we all kind of know this is a done game, but it's always kind of fun to see just how long you can survive. And killing that base runner, that made it all worth it, so. I'm gonna leave this guy alive, it seems. Yeah, because I need to clear out the vision. This carrier is so slow, it can't dodge the artillery, and that is going to be game. Well played to Descara, and I think we've learned something important about that build, namely, don't try it. It doesn't work. Let's go ahead and load game 2 in here. Still playing as Con FMI, of course. I think to myself, well, that didn't go very well. What should I try this time? And my thought was to try that build that Hottest Man Ever has been doing. I did a little bit of practice for that before the tournament. Turns out Descara seems to know pretty well how to hold it off. I wasn't really accounting for this. But still, you know, I thought maybe I would try my luck with this one. So that's the idea coming in here. So I'm going to try the Hottest Man Ever build and just go for that really fast assault ship rush. Looks like I'm only making 1 salvager. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, I'm a little slow to that. Quick drop is good though. I only have an inefficiency of about 11. Meanwhile, what is Descara going for? Really, really early LAV fabrication here. This may be because he's kind of used to the idea that I'm going to go for some kind of a rush. I do really like early game aggression, so that seems like a pretty safe move to me. And you can see now why Descara puts one of the guys on CUs after he gets the first batch of RUs, because obviously I have more RUs than I need right here. But yeah, once they get dropped off, which they will just now, I'll just go ahead and click on assault ship fabrication. I'm going to head out there with my one production cruiser. And at this point, you start making some sand skimmers too. And it's a jolly old time. So Descara, to compensate, is making early LAVs so that he can see what I'm up to. He's going to be ready to put down a turret here. And honestly, looking at his play, it almost seems like he really expected this coming. It doesn't seem like he's really going to get caught off guard by this at all. Good on him, man. I mean, like I said in the last video, he knows this game. He really has a very good mind for it. It's difficult to beat this guy in a best of 1, let alone a best of 3. Support crews are coming out now for Descara. I thought he was just researching AAV fabrication. Perhaps he's cancelled it. I think he's holding the resources there, trying to see which one I'm going to go for before he takes a tech choice. And he's going to head into railgun fabrication just now, it seems. Turret probably going to get set down here almost just immediately. Well, I mean, maybe he wants to actually wait and see, like, if I'm going to push in or not. But yeah, turret is getting put down now. At this point, really, I should just leave. I don't think there's anything I'm going to be able to get done here. That's pretty obvious. I can put the sand skimmers up on the second base position, make him pushing to me, as well as one assault ship there, and then I can just head back and try to play eco. That's probably the right move at this point. Now, I thought to myself naively that I could fit here between this carrier, but it doesn't seem like it. So that carrier just doing an incredible job of just bullying me out here. 2 assault ships are out though, so there's still a chance that some damage can be done here, but this turret is up as well. Very good position. And I know I have to kill off that turret before I can do anything to those salvagers. Turret goes down, but now the carrier block is here again. Descara once again impeccably on time. 3 assault ships are out, but it remains to be seen if I can actually get any salvager kills at all with this. And that seems to me like a wonderful defense there. Only 1 salvager going down for Descara. I lost all the army there. And he's got all the momentum in the world now. He can just do whatever he wants. His economy is stronger, he's got more units. So this is going to be a really big uphill battle if I'm actually going to take it. You can see I've made another base runner here though. I'm going to see if I can get some extractions. We'll see what I can do from there. But things are looking pretty good for Descara. Look at this one LAV just being annoying over here. This is really cool. Got the money for a lot of things. Probably production cruiser fabrication, but I'm not sure. Or refinery mode. I'm not sure what I'm going for here just yet. Floating quite a bit. Oh, hey, look at this. This is pretty nice. Blaster's going to take out those 2 railguns now. My assault ship actually can stay here for a little bit longer. And that's good. Takes away some momentum from my opponent. Definitely a worthwhile trade at the least. Refinery mode won't be finished for another 40 seconds, and until that time I am definitely behind my opponent in terms of economy here. Still haven't gone for a tech choice, have I? Interceptor fabrication seems like the one that you do at this point, but I often like mixing it up. I don't really like to go for interceptor fabrication very often. Well, there you go. I am going to go for interceptors this time. And I think that suggests I'm probably going to play this sort of in the normal fashion, where you then go for Conaf Siege to be your like hard-hitting unit. Refinery mode is now finished. Making some salvages over for this location too. Gonna want to get a production cruiser about as fast as I can. Um, And Descara now switching into a bunch of AAVs, moving those across the field there. That can be difficult to deal with, but assault ships tend to beat them. They definitely win in the one-on-one. So, that should be okay for me. But, that's a good move, though, because obviously one of the nice counters for railguns would be Sandskivers, and if he can just use AAVs, he means I have to counter them both. I can't just find a unit that counters the railguns alone. Production cruiser coming out here now, by the way. Well, it's about halfway done. And I'll be on 3 bases pretty soon. Descara almost seems to be, like, slightly falling behind in that regard, unless Sport Cruiser literally pops out right now. No, but that's almost what I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, he may be a little bit behind Nico in that case, but I think he's definitely going to make up for it with this attack over here with the AAVs. Going to be quite a couple of losses here, and this is the problem holding off AAVs with assault ships, that you do win in the one-on-one, but the fight is just so slow that they can come in and kind of do whatever they want. That's a very common problem to have here. And these AAVs also doing a great job of keeping themselves alive for a lot longer than they should. I'm gonna want to try to use his smoke against him, so I'm gonna move up into it there. Yeah, just look at how much disruption of my army that he's able to do with that smoke. It's really incredible. Last drone is out here, and that only gets 1 kill actually, but still, that's relevant. I'm gonna have to launch my interceptors when there's only 1 out, and that's usually a pretty bad sign. Second base has been completely wiped. Descara probably looking to make a support cruiser now, and he's definitely ahead at this point. So that's really good of him. He's kept up his advantage there with that little attack. I did hold it off, but as you can see off the back of it, he is expanding. He's going to be doing just fine. Support cruiser's out now, going to move over and take up this 3rd base location. And I am essentially on 1 base right now. Well, okay, I've just gotten back up onto 2. But you can see, and base runner inventory coming out. Wow, that's curious. Maybe he's trying to get anti-air as fast as he can because he's worried I'm going to strike his eco. And you can see he's getting anti-air. He was researching missile batteries, but he's canceled that now. But yeah, maybe he's planning on setting down anti-air turret posts. It's an interesting idea, base runner inventory right there. You can see one anti-air turret post already going up over there. So I've definitely caused kind of the knee-jerk reaction from him that I wanted. That's really all I wanted with these air units. For now, I'm just going to see if I can try to get value. They're going to cover my anti-air pretty nicely too, but I really plan on moving into siege cruiser fabrication here. Descara scores another artifact, brings the scoreline to 1-1. I'm going to come in here and take out this anti-air turret post, which is quite nice. There is another one set up right there by this base runner. But these railguns still pretty vulnerable. Sport cruiser anti-air not going to be finished for another 30 seconds. I think it's a pretty typical thing to see about me, that I'm not really as active with these air units as I should be. I'm actually going to pull these assault ships back to because I'm worried about this base runner and what it could do, which is a little bit annoying to have to worry about. But yeah, I mean, it could be pretty annoying if it sets down a bunch of turrets and whatever here. And yeah, and sure enough it does. That's pretty annoying. But it'll get taken out there. You can see how much map momentum, or map momentum, is that even a word? How much momentum that gave him doing that. Because then everyone pulls back, I have to use my air units to deal with it too. I even make some more interceptors as well. Really nice plays here from Descara. So base runners get cleaned up. That's nice. Air unit's gonna go ahead and dock. But Descara is still definitely in the dominant position in this map. Armored unit defenses 3 coming out, which is nice for me. Those things are gonna be pretty beefy. It's still very much counterable by railguns. This terrain is pretty good for it though. I can hide behind a lot of dunes here if I need to. Siege cruisers coming out as well. And I still have those air units. I still have definitely some options for attacking my opponent. Need to get over this dune here, though. Yeah. Might lose one or two here. No, it looks like they'll be safe, actually. Air units come in and they're going to get some good damage, but there is a support cruiser here and they're going to have to leave. Right? Okay. I do pull them out eventually. And actually a bunch of assault ships lost kind of in a silly way of retreating. They didn't go behind this dune, they like went off in that direction. Siege cruiser is about finished now. I should really power up those cruise missiles, shouldn't I? These railguns definitely making themselves felt. He's just able to slowly push in on this location. And now it's going to be a little tricky on this last front right here. I have the cruise missiles from the carrier if I ever get around to powering that up, of course. I have siege cruisers to do indirect fire too. And once he pushes over the dune here, I'm going to have the assault ships. So I can definitely make a pretty good hold here, but that's about all I can do. And he's going to have full field control. So I know I need to get something done here. I just don't know what it could be. This barrage is going to be kind of a miss here, and the railgun's going to come up close. I think maybe I can set up a pincer here though, and I'm going to move in with the siege cruiser attacking the rails, assault ships attacking the rails too. And cruise missiles, of course. And this is going to go quite well for me. I lost a couple of air units there, a bit silly that. But yeah, I should be able to take out, in fact, a support cruiser here if I do this right. There's still a rail. Yeah, there's the railgun. Doing a lot of friendly fire here, actually, which is a little silly. But I should be killing the support cruiser, and that's going to be very nice. Should allow me to extract. So this is good. Basically a full army wipe there for me. And that's definitely what I needed. Now, Descara, very good at getting counterplay, though, and he's going to counterattack basically just now. Siege Cruise is moving out here because I kind of sense it coming, but these guys are moving in the wrong way. They should probably be headed over there, right? Air units fly out and they definitely catch sight of these. I know where they are. But yeah, I've got siege in the area. I should be fine, but you can see I still already have lost a salvager there. Didn't use a barrage there, which is a little funny. And there's an anti-air turret post set up too. I want to be careful in this location. Descara pretty good at keeping himself covered for anti-air. Gonna get my damage upgrades now for those sand skimmers. It's gonna be good because obviously armor upgrades are done for those railguns. I'm gonna want sand skimmers to be able to counter those. But I should be able to push in here. There's no resistance. I'll take out this turret post as well. Maybe I can kill off this artifact too. He should get an extraction though. That shouldn't be too hard for him. This guy here though, definitely too far forward. Very unsupported, and it seems like a bit of a blunder. I'm definitely going to lose him to the carrier and the rails here. So that was something that shouldn't have happened, and that's a pretty big loss. Should I? I mean, I don't know. But it looks like Descara ready to come in for a power play here now. And I kind of sense this, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. I have air, and he hasn't got any anti-air coverage in this particular area, and that's quite nice for me. So I'm able to harass those railguns quite a bit, but I need an answer to a powered-up carrier with railgun support, and I need it fast. Also, you can see I'm not microing particularly well, straying pretty far into this anti-air net. Ooh, that was pretty needless. I think all the air units just died there, yeah. So that was definitely not something that should have happened. But I am going to deflect him a bit. He's going to rethink things. And I can get some heavy railguns up now, but this is going to be a little difficult to deal with. Barrage comes down here just to try and hit that base burner and get some damage on it. I really don't want to let him extract again. That's when things start getting pretty hairy. You can see he's got the winning artifacts if he could get them out. So I definitely need to be careful of that. Now, I've been doing all of this with 2 production cruises, by the way, but it doesn't really feel like it because I have I have like siege cruisers that I'm making too, so I do sort of have production on all sides. Actually, I'm gonna push in for a bit of a backstep here, and I can see how much that pulled him out. I should really be going for this, huh? I probably ought to be pushing out here, but I should leave the siege cruiser back to cover the extraction. Yeah, it looks like I am gonna push out, so I am at least cognizant of what I need to be doing here. And Sandskimmer damage too, finishing right at the same time. So he's definitely going to clear this out, that's no problem. But then maybe his carrier will be a bit exposed. Maybe I'll be able to take out a couple of railguns for free here. Micro's not too good though, I'm definitely not attacking the right unit here. Ooh. Very messy, that shouldn't have happened. I should be able to get more value out of them than I did just then. And look, this siege cruiser going way too far away. These two base runners can just extract now. I'm going to need to move back, but I don't seem to realize it. Oh, and there's a battle cruiser out too. That's a very nice counter to Con F Siege. Battle cruisers are actually countered by Siege pretty nicely because they can't move away from the indirect fire. But Con F Siege doesn't have that, obviously. It just has that barrage, and so battle cruisers is a very good counter to them. But yeah, I see these two base runners. I know they've got the artifacts. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do to stop them. That's definitely going to cause me some difficulty. So looking at this again, I'd say this is really not the best play for me. I definitely could have done better here. And by the way, you can see me now suddenly realizing, like, oh, well, probably ought to move all these guys back there. But yeah, this hasn't been the best play for me in this tournament, but I think it's pretty obvious that you can see now I'm going to go down here, right? I think I did very well in some of the other games, but against Descara here, I tried some sort of odd builds and really didn't pan out for me. And then I made quite a few tactical mistakes that I think are pretty obvious to see. And yeah, I don't think at this point it's actually possible to stop those base runners, so we're just going to go ahead and fast forward a bit here. But even if it was, as you can see, battle cruisers and a very, very powered up carrier are going to be pushing in on my main, so there's really nothing I can do at this point. Smoke goes up from those AAVs, exactly what you want to see. And that's going to be the game. Well done to Descara, and he is going to be the tournament winner. I really think I could have done better here, but it's no shame to lose to Descara. Like I said, he's probably the best player in the game right now. We might be changing our opinions next tournament if A-Game Angst plays, which he's considering doing. But you know, you never know. I still think Descara probably the best one, at least at vanilla for sure. This is a lot of fun to play with him, a lot of fun to get wrecked. Hope you enjoyed it too, and I'll see you next time.